Hello everyone, I am Augustine Conteh from Slefes-Ebkust Marketing Campus. For the past few weeks, our focus has been on fruits of the Spirit in our Daily-Fes. And for this week, our focus has been on patience, which is one of the fruits of the Spirit. Galatians 5 verse 22 says, "But when the Holy Spirit controls our lives, He will produce this kind of fruits in us: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness." So these are all the fruits of the Spirit, and we can only produce them when we have the Holy Spirit living in our lives, when we have the Holy Spirit controlling our lives, when the Holy Spirit is manning our lives. We learned that patience is the ability to go through waiting, and the ability to go through challenges and difficult time of delay without getting frustrated, and without losing our trust and our hope and our awe in God, and also without destroying our relationships with our neighbors or with our fellow men. So if we have the fruit of patience in us, first, we'll have the ability to endure waiting. It can be waiting on the Lord, it can be waiting for the promises of God to be made manifest in our lives. And we also will have the ability to go through challenges that are tied to waiting. We'll also have the ability to be able to pass through all the stormy blocks of waiting. And we learned again from Proverbs 16 verse 32 that it is better to be patient than to be powerful. It is better to have self-control than to conquer a city. The Bible is saying a man who has patience is more powerful than someone who has the physical strength to take down a whole city. So patience is more powerful than physical strength. We also learned from James 1 verse 4 that we should allow patience to have a perfect work in us, that we may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. This is talking about our personal selves, our personal walk with God. So we must come to this point wherein we allow and will be patient enough to allow God to work on our lives, to allow God to work on ourselves, to allow God to work on our being, so that we will be like Jesus, so that we will portray the lifestyle of Jesus, the character of Jesus, so that we will give out everything about Jesus. And lastly, we learned from Romans 8 verse 25 that if we are looking forward to something that we don't have yet, we wait patiently for it and confidently. This is talking about the wonderful promises of God for our lives, the wonderful future that God has planned for us, and the wonderful words in the Bible, the words of promises that God has said about our lives. So we must be patient enough to allow them to be made manifest. The Bible says God does everything in His own perfect timing. When His time is right, He will make it happen. So we must be patient enough to allow all the promises that God has given concerning our lives and all the promises that God has said concerning our lives to be made manifest. We must be patient enough. So first, we must allow the Holy Spirit to dwell and control our lives. And then we can have the ability to endure waiting. And then we can have the ability to go through the challenges of waiting. And then we'll have patience instead of having a strength to take down the whole of the city. And again, we'll allow God to perfectly work on our lives. And we will wait patiently for the promises of God concerning our lives, for the things that God has said concerning our lives. So I want to ask you, are you battling with this patience thing? You can ask the Holy Spirit today, and He will help.